It's the 20th anniversary of the longest running GT3 championship in the world, the League of Super Sports Cars on the road to DTM. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Styrian Mountains, to the Red Bull Ring in Austria. It's Finn Zulauf and Jamie Day who start on the front row of the grid with Colin Berdinghausen and Keanu Blum alongside. So both of them have come out of Porsche 6 Carrera Cups Deutschland, taking the step up into the big league of GT3 racing. On row 4, Max Rice and Ethan Brown, all the way from Singapore, first Singaporean driver ever in ADAC GT Masters. Welcome Pavel Lefterov, a real entertainer, alongside long favourite Alan Valente. Then Leighton Furry, Giuliano Holzem in BMWs on the next row. Then Fabio Rauer and Duran, what a great name, in 12th on the grid. Robin Rogowski and Jonas Karkleys line up on the next row. And then bringing up the rear, we're waiting for those 5 red lights to go off. And any second now, we will be racing in 2026 at the Red Bull Ring. And as Max Rice ducking out, goes 3 abreast in towards turn 1. A great start from Finn Zulauf. He leads the rest of the pack. Colin Berdinghausen in there as well. Jamie Day dropping back just a little bit at the start. The cars head out towards turn 2.
Second place, another Ford, Alan Valente in the third, the Swiss driver. Here's the replay then. Look at the Lamborghini right at the back if you can, and how wide that goes in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what's happened to Max Rice. You see, you said he's dropped down into 7th place. He made such a good start. We're on board with Keanu Blum there in the mighty Mustang. He has taken to this car like the duck to water. He's very familiar with Porsches, right? Penalty laps 3 times for Giuliano Holzem for causing a collision with car 14. There's a penalty box painted on the right-hand side of the track on the exit of turn 3. He's going to have to pass through that 3 times at no more than 50 kilometers an hour. That's going to be the equivalent in total of adding about 15 seconds to his lap time. So that's a bit of a disaster. Just having a look to see what happened to Max Rice in the opening stages. No clues yet. The sharp right-hander, Finn Zulauf, well in control. Max Rice in the Mustang makes a really good start there, up into 2nd place. Everybody else fighting for positions, but Jamie Day getting swallowed up a little by the rest. Real fight going on for that 3rd place. Keep an eye on Keanu Blum in the black and red Mustang. Keep an eye also on Pavel Lefterov in the Porsche to the inside. Had a disappointing qualifying this morning. Up towards turn 1 we come once again. Jamie Day now fighting back against Pavel Lefterov to the inside, sliding the Aston Martin around the corner. Absolutely side by side, heading towards turn 2 they come. It's going to be a drag race. It's going to be last of the late breakers into turn 3. Jamie Day will have the inside line when they get up the hill towards that turn 3 right-hander under braking. He retakes the position, and it's one of the Holzems in the 56 car who makes contact. Giuliano Holzem makes contact with Pavel Lefterov.
Gets this happen to him up at turn 3. It was because he was offline fighting with Jamie Day. The opportunity arose, but the door closed, and Giuliano Holzem, the BMW, couldn't slow the car down in time, just clipped the back. The BMW is all struggling. We'll all want a bit of a boost in terms of BOP, I think, for tomorrow. But look at that battle for second, battle between the Aston Martin and the Porsche. These two start to fight each other for the lead of the race. It looks like they might do, Zulauf and Blum. Then he could catch them up. Here comes Blum, though, dives down the inside of the way to the braking zone. They slow down to just 60 kilometers an hour. You've got to get that braking spot on, and he did. So up to the lead of the race.
At the moment, having another look here, so we look down from the perspective of turn 3, and Zulauf kind of choosing his battles, I think. Didn't really put up too much of a fight. Over to Simon Connor Brim. Right, look at this sprint race.
It's like a non-start, that, wasn't it?
Get out the car, mate. I've only got 85 seconds. So out goes Colin Berdinghausen. In goes Leo Pickler. So there we've got Tim Zimmerman getting strapped in. The outgoing driver helps the incoming driver to come into the car, get strapped in. In the background, the green and black Ferrari has got a shorter pit stop. Remember that?
Probably seems about right, because he has been driving very quickly, hasn't he? In comes then at the number 163 Team XXL Lamborghini, Jonas Karkleys, who got very close to the barrier on the exit to turn 1 at the start of the race. And John Paul Southern, who's made a couple of guest appearances in the last couple of years in the championship, the American gets on board, hopefully he's going to be in for the full season this year.
I'm just looking at the 13th place, Ernst Kirschmeier, and the red indicating he's gone below the minimum pit stop time. Move up. Now that's a problem for the Porsche. So that's going slowly. So that'll be Mark Kastelik. It looks to me like he might have a puncture or an issue on the right rear. The car looking down in the corner. If they're rushing to do anything with it, and that may be why you saw him getting a little bit airborne across the gravel. And I wonder if it's maybe something a little bit more than just a puncture. Most of the testing and free practice sessions, but clearly an issue there.
Max Rice has come in as well in the Mustang just behind, so 3 more of the front runners come in to make a stop, but drama here potentially. Right rear puncture. So yeah, that one gets replaced. New Pirelli tyre goes on.
Into turn 4 we come once again, and a message from race control. It's bad news to John Paul Southern for speeding in the pit lane. So going above the pit lane speed limit means a visit to the penalty box.
Tim Zimmerman can't quite find a way through this, can he, in the BMW's try, but they're all trying to overtake each other as well. Ooh. Bit of contact there. Tim Hooter gets a tap from behind, and the number 19 Liquid Molly enks the Lamborghini, but hangs on to it and saved it. So he was in the walls a bit there, poor Tim Hooter. Got that hit there. It was a good save, actually, because he could have easily been sent wide into the gravel trap. On the road ahead, so you got the Lambo in the middle there, trying to overtake and defend at the same time, because here comes the BMW of Tim Zimmerman, dives down the inside. Very well thought out move. They just watched them fight each other, held each other up, and he picked off the move. And that was very well done by Tim to get ahead now of that number 69 Baron Motorsport Ferrari, being driven by Axel Jeffries. That was a car that had the shorter pit stop. And contact! And the BMW sends the Lamborghini around, coming out of the third turn. The number 19 Liquid Molly Team Exler car, which was started by Ethan Brown, now driven by Tim Hooter. We'll see a replay of it now. He was about a car and a half length back, wasn't he? Just couldn't slow the car down in time.
Yeah.
So that, unsurprisingly, he's under investigation, because there's no way that Tim Hooter would have seen that coming. All those places and all the momentum going up the hill as well. And it's put the Ferrari, look, back at the head of the group, because the BMW got delayed in all of that as well. So it's real back and forth here.
This is something that could go all the way to the flag at the moment. Oh, and there is Baudouin Detou, who's clearly had an excursion. It looks like he's able to rejoin. You saw the dirt rising into the air. But you think this is the first time they've sat behind the wheel of that car today. They've been sat in the garage, and then suddenly you're in the action amongst some drivers who have already put a number of laps in. You've got to get yourself into the rhythm. And Baudouin Detou, for his debut in ADAC GT Masters, in the other Mustang, the number 1 car that he took over from Max Rice. And there is Baudouin Detou and the Audi, the Simon Connor Prim car. Simon Connor Prim, way more experienced than Baudouin Detou in this discipline of ADAC GT Masters. Through on the inside, the 2 cars running side by side. And it looks like it's Simon Connor Prim who's going to get that position. In the number 77 car, just ahead of them, is Storm Yerdrum. Now up with Simon Connor Prim. Simon Connor Prim, in fact, as he got past Storm Yerdrum, and there the Ferrari as well. So there's quite a scrap going on there for 5th, 6th and 7th place at the moment.
Here, or he's going to lose this victory.
Those were the 2 big opportunities, but there are still more chances on this very, very last lap. Hirsiger has a look to the inside, into the corner. Callas has the momentum around the outside. The outside then becomes the inside. Callas still in front. The checkered flag cannot come soon enough as they head around turn 8 towards turn 9 for the very last time. This is for a win in the very opening race of the season. Nicholas Callas has stood on the podium a couple of times in the past. He's never stood on the top step. Is he going to hold on to it? It's a drag race to the checkered flag. Who's it going to be? It's Felix Hirsiger who wins out of the last corner, stealing it from Nicholas Callas. He'd driven a flawless race all along.
Just a bit too deep into the corner, and on the curbs, this is it. He's under attack. He's under siege. through turns 9 and 10, really. That was where the pressure came. I think because he'd lost it onto the curbs here, he tried to scramble across, and then he's keeping an eye on the mirrors probably, with that Lamborghini showing its nose. He's on the wider line than he wants to be on. There's no grip. He's on the dust. He's on the grass. Less traction, less acceleration. The Lamborghini outdoes him on the way to the flag, and Hirsiger gets a dramatic finish. Nicholas Callas is going to have nightmares about that. But, I mean, they drove so well as a pair, didn't they? Him and Blum almost getting the win, almost getting that first win. Still his best result in the championship, but he won't feel like it until he gets that win now. But what just shows, doesn't it? Just keep trying. And it's so hard when you're the leader in that situation. Everything's on you. When you're the driver in second, it's almost no pressure because he's got big gap behind him. He can apply the pressure. He can just go for it. And the amount of times you can put somebody under pressure like that on the last lap of a race, and it works.
So the pressure will still be on him, and he will do the first stint in the race tomorrow. Keanu Blum will take over and do the second stint. At the moment, the champagne is spraying.
The results will show that from pole position, Zulauf and Hirsiger won. It wasn't quite that straightforward.
It doesn't tell the story, does it? Keanu Blum, Nicholas Callas led the majority of the race, but not the most important bit. Alan Valente, Max Cuckari in third. Robin Rogowski, Simon Conoprim in the old Audi, doing a great job for fourth place ahead of Max Rice and Emil Yerdrum. Another Yerdrum alongside Fabio Rao, this time Storm Yerdrum in sixth. Then it was Ernst Kersman, Axel Jeffries, despite all those visits to the penalty box. The rest of the results just scrolling through there.